I'm trying something out, people. Welcome to the live. Can y'all hear me? I'm gonna wait for a second and just talk away for a bit. Um, I'm working on something here, man. I'm trying to put something. Well, I'm not trying to put something together here, man. I know you can hear me and you can see me somewhat. So, bear with me. Yeah, bear with me, people. Give me a second to get myself together. But I hope you all are doing well this afternoon. I'm not going to be long because I have to report to the plantation in a few hours. And I guess that's relevant to the conversation. Now, the migrant discussion, the legal migrant discussion might be new to many of I guess in the context it's being held. That ICE is coming together of all the undocumented immigrants. I mean, and these are people, there's a certain group of people that for decades, I believe, that's done this. There's an agency that does. Just like there's an agency that takes people that deal with counterfeit merchandise or drugs, things of that nature. These are people that regular people might have served in service, might have just went to school, might have just trained for it. Just got this as a job, and they have a large job to do because during the previous administration, there were like reportedly like 20 million undocumented immigrants brought into the United States of America, notwithstanding those who already existed within America. I sure hope you guys hear. So, there Lori Lightfoot was used to president. I guess he was doing the COVID and all that, and everybody was kind of still boxed in a way. She proclaimed that Chicago is a sanctuary city, and she wasn't the first person who actually done this. Harold Washington, he had done it, but he had done it in a way we said, well, if you're in trouble, you can come here and you have shelter. It's not that we're going to. I mean, even in the name of granting them some form of welfare, but not only grant them some form of welfare, but to supersede the amount of money that you've ever given any descendant of those who were once enslaved within the confines of this country. But you scoff at reparations. You realize how much 2 billion would have done for the Black Americans in Cook County, Illinois. On the news, there's a lot of protests going on, but it seems like I guess the No Kings protest commandeered the ICE situation as well. Any type of opportunity to get, I mean, hell, at this point, it's to go viral. Everything's going to the digital world. Are you prepared to go to the digital world? 60, there's reportedly 60,000 jobs that will be lost to Amazon. They'll be replaced with audible bots. So in America here, 2022, people think that it's a bias toward a particular group of people. Not necessarily. Um, when the Ukraine and Russian war broke out, there was a surge of European, I mean, you could tell, I mean, not to be stereotypical, but you could tell the difference between the conventional Chicago white person. If there's a definition of the conventional white Chicago person, and this person that had recently arrived upon the shores of America, the war had broken out, people were fleeing Ukraine. Chicago's a sanctuary city. I saw. This is the first time ever in my life I ever seen a white European working in a Mexican restaurant. That's what. And y'all think I'm bullshit. I mean, I saw him once or twice, but he wasn't there long. You know that was a relationship that was built for failure. But 2022 was when the migrant surge began in Cook County, Illinois, and the amount of taxpayer dollars went toward this particular cause. And Brandon Johnson was still running for mayor at the time. And this proposal was that, in order to fight police brutality and the unjust homicide or seemingly homicide against uh, people, the young black, well, should really get a lot of people were talking about these superficial things like the White House and the trial for the murder of Sonia Mays is occurring by the blood of Jesus. Cop shot her in the face. But we get distracted by certain other things. I mean, the trial is worth looking good at this point, but you never know what kind of chicanery might occur in, Dwight's. I mean, his first name is Dwight, his last name, man. You never know what type of chicanery might occur in Dwight Main's court. Let me not get too far off what I was on. ICE. The ICE folks, man. I watch the media and, I see the news. I speak from a unique perspective because I live within a mile of where they were protesting the detention center with the fence around it, and people were gunning through with cars, and it people are outside. I mean, outside of the parameters of the city of Cook County might see things differently. They feel as if we're being unfair and unkind by saying that, you know, leave ICE the fuck alone and let them do their goddamn job. I really don't understand. It's like, well, the people that you see down there protesting, you don't see a whole lot of people with melanated skin down there. I guess I should say clearly African American, Black, Negro, uh, nigga folk like myself. We not down. So hmm, when you see these protesters on there now, hi everybody, y'all see me? Can you see me? Anybody out there? Is anybody out there? But yeah, when you see these protesters on television, you'll see a lot of migrants, of course. I mean, I shouldn't say that. You'll see a lot of people with particular uh, skin hue or ethnicity, but you never know. You can't really be stereotypical. Everyone has their unique genetic features. But you'll see these protests, and I mean, I'm not going out there because I look at it like it's really um, an inane situation because it's a detention center. Why would you need? They were talking about the aesthetics at first. It was an infringing on emergency vehicles and things going into that area. But once the protests and things started, people were having problems getting to their own homes due to the fact they had to go through the National Guard and the protesters and all the bullshit they got going on the block. And this is the black people live on that particular block. Man, one man I heard is count. At least they show some of the stuff. They don't necessarily come out there. But they give they don't. Their narrative is a certain kind of way. But if you pay attention, you'll see where the news ends and the bullshit begins. So 2022, I'm working, and then it's like, well, we get out of the COVID, the eggs is high. One thing I'll say, I say that people wake up every morning and try to figure out something, maybe some news clip or whatever. I don't know, man. I guess it's a hobby for some, or it might be a what do they call it? A fixation, an obsession to find something to say. I'm gonna find something that they said about Trump, and I'm go on my social media. I'm gonna whine on it because I ain't got nothing else. I ain't got nothing else bring people to my attention other than talk about Trump. Because if you talk about Trump on my page, uh, then it's gonna bring people to my page because everybody want to argue about how racist they think Trump is, or how whatever he done done this foolish thing, he's a dictator, whatever, fascist. Y'all learned a new word. They have to throw the word out. What kills me is that with the media, they have a way in order to like repeat a certain phrase over and over again, and it becomes part of the narrative, the lexicon, the what do I say? It's kind of strange. I mean, you really can't go too far and say it becomes it manifests into reality. It's like speak it into existence. So 2022, then 2023, the Venezuelans started coming up, and I believe I don't know if that was the same year, and it was an election year, or was it 2020 was when, yeah, so 2022, Brandon Johnson was already. Brandon Johnson went from campaigning on mental health for the people in order to avoid police brutality, woo woo, and the situation with Sonya, uh, and I hope Sonya Mays, by the blood, she was in their kitchen with, she was by the stove. The officer said he feared for his life over pot of water. Uh, she said, "I rebuke you." So they played the tape in the courthouse. See, I didn't. Of course, I didn't see a video of this. I just read the account. They played the tape. Of course, it got to be the uncensored tape at the courthouse. Say, shoot a man couldn't do nothing but look at the tape. I mean, that's fair. I guess that'll give the semblance that you actually gave a damn about what you did or what even happened. I'm sorry, brother. Me just dash give me some, get my water because I feel my voice cracking. So really, it's 2023. They start coming in on the buses because Governor Abbott said we not a sanctuary city. If y'all sanctuary city, we gonna send these people to all them people hollering at sanctuary city shit, and we gonna send them to Martha's Vineyard too, because Obama and them live over there. They got a house up there. They hurry up and got them people off from Martha's Vineyard. I don't even think y'all remember that shit. Dude was an asshole. I mean, Chicago welcomed them people with open arms. They still had lots of COVID money left over, the federal money, because that COVID money was big money. That's why they coming after the PPP folks. They want some of that money back. Uh, During that time, it was still the COVID situation, and then it's like, well, I really wasn't getting it. But then when you think in hindsight, when Biden came, niggas talk, y'all black Democratic folks, because never again. The black Democrat folks were saying that Biden was this and Biden was that. And, he said, if you don't vote for me, you will have black. But as soon as he got in front of Al Sharpton and them and see in the Congressional Black Caucus and said, y'all going to have to learn to work with Hispanic. At that point, you didn't really understand what that meant at that point. But then when he proceeded to import $20 million, no, not 20 million, 20 million allegedly undocumented immigrants, not necessarily specifically from Latin or Hispanic or whatever, however they may refer to themselves, countries. But nevertheless, they were able to come to Chicago, Illinois, and secure resources. Resources. You say 800, them folks get 800, people get 8,000. A hundredfold, is that hundredfold or thousandfold? That's got to be thousand. 8,000, yeah, that's thousandfold. Get read benefits thousandfold. Buy a house, buy a nice car. Um, and then you think of then it's like, well, I'm looking at my rent, and every year my rent is like just jumping. I'm like, man, goddamn. Oh, y'all ain't even done no renovations to this shit. You know why the fuck you say $100 just because everybody else is going? But this at that time it was It was a good situation for the realtor, the landlord or whatever. People opening up old buildings and letting them people come in and move in buildings. You know, this niggas been out. Well, now it's been people that need housing all around those buildings, but they never considered opening up those buildings for them. Nor did their government consider donating or funding the ability for those buildings to be open to house those people. I saw a video today on a YouTuber called Danny C. She's one of the members of Chicago Flip Grid. Now, I don't believe in the system at all whatsoever, but the thing about it is when you do work within that system or even approach that system, you should have a goal or an objective, something that you want to constructive and tangible value that's that would benefit your kind and people like your kind. You know, if you understand me, your kind isn't necessarily color or religious background. It's just someone in which you share the same values and interests. I don't think a lot of the '90s Democrat would not even participate what is going on with the 2020s Democratic Party, and we have to be. I mean, I guess some of those people still are, but then when you press them about the traditional values in which they were raised upon for centuries and centuries that have been passed on, and you realize that this media is pushing something towards you. It's like, well, in order for you to be I don't want to say just comfortable because you never should be completely comfortable in this type of society. Normalized, yeah, just so you'll feel like you can maneuver within the system. They'll give you just enough. But the thing about it was that there had been no consideration being thought upon. Wasn't like, okay, well, yeah, we're glad that y'all let us in here. We got all this money, black man. We're gonna share this money with y'all because you gonna show us the way to do shit. It wasn't none of that shit. Then it's like, uh, they don't mention the children that are bought in on these certain things. They don't even really talk about what particular crimes they may have been accused of. Really. They'll show clips about how one migrant has a child that's dying of cancer, and okay, that's understandable and it's very sad, and that's you know I guess if you were working, then I guess you got your employer in trouble because we could be like, well, hell, you can stay at work and you make sure your daughter okay. Uh, but aside from that, it's like, well, what duty, what duty does the Black American who has who has had a legacy or ancestry that ties back to before or during the period of chattel slavery in America, what benefit is it of us to jump to the stand of someone who will willingly step on our forehead to get to the ultimate objective? And it's just like a good disclaimer, it's nothing personal. But come on, man. I watched the video, and I mean, I hope this was a joke. And I mean, maybe it's not a joke, but they said a certain section of people actually believe that the ashy footed nigger person in America, with descendants back to the plantations and beyond, could be deported from America. The ICE was going to come for us next. And even some of the niggas was on this shit. Oh, that little baby in the head, that little baby from Texas, that picture from 2018. His daddy was right beside him. And y'all, they kidnapping? Since when does the mainstream? I mean, I understand, okay, sensationalism, but since when does the mainstream media allow the narrative to say, well, this particular group of people is kidnapping? you're saying shit. These are trigger words, and you propaganding them into other guy out. Y'all are censor me on Facebook or even YouTube for saying nigga, and I identify as nigga. But these people talk. They say you can't say kill. I don't do that because this is word definition. You can't say kill. You can't say rape. You gotta say unalive. That sounds so fucking weird. What is wrong with society? We are so welcoming. We are so kind. But when you get to the point where you start those protesters that are not Hispanic down there, they're not from the areas that they were from out around here, where they out in Broadview. They Maywood area. They didn't necessarily live from out. They lived from far out, and they got a check for being out there. A lot of them. And just out there representing the not-for-profit 501c organization, charity work. The first time the dude had the King No Kings rally, he laid his money on the table, told how much he made, and they still win. Everybody, you've got to believe in something. Why not believe? I mean, I guess it's easy. And once they start believing in, especially nigga folks need, they got to have something that they can lean on, something that they could give them that vibration to let them know they have something to aspire to. And not only that, they also have to have another figure in which they got to be able to look down upon. At least I ain't doing bad at that nigga down there. But they'll put it. This. Not to stay on point. Let me stay on point. These people that are involved in this protest, and there's the anti-ICE protest and things of that nature. You see what got the African American black Negro, the nigga folks up in arms. That motherfucker talk about cutting them EBT cards off, cutting them stamps off. That got everybody's ears perked up. I guess that in the whole in the White House. What the fuck a nigga got to do with the goddamn White House? Obama was just in there as a showpiece. He didn't do nothing. He said that's not how America works. Helping you, nigga. That's not how America works. You help us, nigga. Uh, you are, nigga. You belong. That's what kills me about a lot of you folks that argue about this shit. At the end of the day, you belong to them. We belong to them. What could you do if they took everything they bring to you away? What could you do? I mean, hell, you got to be, ready to die. you be in prison. I guess at that point to stay alive. Because I don't know, man. I'm not the one to talk that apocalyptic talk. I say to hell, everybody should be able to have the best they possibly can have and get everything they want and need in that day, and let the rest go the way it's supposed to go. But just like that, when I say let it go the way it's supposed to go. Now the African American, the black people, they've been very good at staying out of the shit to some degree. I don't understand why um there's so many John Coffey niggas in America. I think that's the nigga John Coffey. Is that the Green Mountain? All y'all John Coffey type niggas out here, African American black folks. Y'all want to make them happy, make them feel comfortable and satisfied. Stop being a victim, nigga. Yes, it's a boss. I detest being a victim. Keep on victimizing me, because I detest being a victim. Damn, white folks don't do nothing to you, nigga. All you gotta do is get up, get you some money. So that's what your mind becomes consumerism. But you rather wear your money than display your money that way. Now, you don't necessarily have to display your money. So you rather wear your money than invest your money. Keep it simple. So ICE is up here, and we say, and you think about it. I saw a video today with Danny C and Zoe, and they were outside. They was out by the viaduct or wherever, like the bridge, basically the bridge. And there was a group of people out there. They went out there interviewing them, talking about that some of them said they had been offered houses a while back and they didn't have houses. These black people out here in the cold, woo, woo, woo. Old black folks. I guess I don't. I'm a single man, and I've been by myself and walking along this path by myself for the most of my existence. Who's to say that I'll have someone to be considered about, what I got going on? Am I somebody special to them? Am I as special as I think I am? Let's see. Here's somebody say congressional change, Dr. Flag, which is like many of you. I got a piece of spam. Isn't that wonderful? But I don't know. I look at it like, why it seems to me as if the media is kind of demonized the good old ice folks, with the narrative. And there was it was reported. Damn, didn't I get the water? Oh, I did get the water. There was it was reported. I think we got it now, baby. All right, it was reported that damn, I felt like this is enough. Damn it, it's in my mind. That's what that good weed do to you. That has anxiety for it. Immigrant shit, this and this. Black people outside homeless. I got to associate to get back to where I was. But nevertheless, it's like the people from outside this city, they don't have the direct impact of what bringing in large amounts of people to an already resource poor area. And not only it being resource poor beforehand, now the utilization of all these federal funds on this particular cause, as opposed to the revitalization of this particular Cook County, Chicagoland period, the lack of consideration for the taxpayer and citizens. You put people up in these hotels, they buy houses, they buy cars. What a life! Let them. They could go back home until they had the most fabulous vacation ever. They can go home. This commercial comes on because it come on in the daytime. Can I imagine? Hmm, maybe they're supposed to be working. If somebody at home they know they ain't supposed to be over, they're at home to see this goddamn commercial. I think it's Christy Nomes or some shit. She said, "We'll pay your way back home." Blah blah blah. And, you won't be snatched up because if we snatch you up, your likelihood of being able to return to America diminishes. But you have a better chance if you self-deport. Here, go get put on the list. You're already gonna be in the list. You go the other way. It's like police. It's the police Johnson conundrum. We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. Now, some may think that's inconsiderate, but right is right and wrong is wrong. You can't jump over one wrong and proceed to try to make it the wrong they done righteous in the name of some narrative you shape. How it is they ain't committed no crime. It's illegal to cross the border without doing the proper process of crossing the border. They talk about people who've been here for decades and shit like that. If you have not studied they know what to do to get what they need to get over here, man. Good old sympathetic niggas. They tried. I'm glad that it wasn't as much participation. They had. I haven't seen as much participation that they anticipated would be. They thought niggas could get deported. They thought the black American could get kicked out of this country. So now they out there. It's like the shit just seems so staged. Governor Pritzker has money for a what do you call this? A task force. Force. You know, y'all just don't do nothing. Just film. Just film. But the cops already got body cams. Y'all said they got to wear the body cam. Maybe they cut him off. Maybe not. Maybe y'all cut it off. Maybe y'all flip some shit and set some shit off. Who's to say, man? All that shit is op shit. It's orchestrated. I myself, as opposed to things like worrying about the cost of property of rent going up, because when you have all these people shelters and that, they're not going to be in shelter forever. They're going to have to enter into some form of the workforce, and by entering into some form of the workforce, that's going to eliminate opportunity for someone else that might be qualified for that position. Now we could talk about whether who has the most urgency to work on, if placed under the same condition, but that's apples and oranges. Just like us going out there and protesting. Black people ask for them people to come. We ain't Biden and Kamala were doing that to niggas, man. I kept on asking. At least Trump, these Donald Trump free Kodak Black a little white and Kwame Kilpatrick. Shit, our little minuscule share villain. But now, yeah, also, I'm not here to campaign. I just support ICE. They ain't coming after my ass. I got my paper. It's immigration, uh, whatever. The I stand for immigration. If your ass ain't supposed to be over here, what the fuck? You know, man, I don't get it. So y'all gonna get these people court dates. Who gonna pay for their goddamn lawyers? Who gonna pay for their time being over? They're not allowed to work. They leave. You gonna get work permits to work. Niggas, we about to be extinct. Boy, and man, them people, your black politicians, your Brandon Johnson, all these black politicians in Chicago, they not folding in. That's why you have groups like Chicago Flip Fred coming forward and making good points and being out there boots on the ground with it. And um, hmm, I'm just a poor nigga. I'm not. I'm too done to be affiliated in them political things. So don't even bother me about the party. I just be talking on him, man. That's all I'm doing. Just on his talk. Waiting to see whether or not uh ET gonna respond from the galaxy. So, let me see. No, I don't want no captain. That I believe it. Okay, try again. Okay, let me see if somebody came on me. Yeah, I do it like that. I can't see because I can't see y'all from all the way over there. Try and do something different. Try and do something different. Try and something out. Can y'all hear me? Now I need y'all hear me. Yeah, as long as y'all hear me. You having kindness. it's already, long, once we started talking like, once some of us started talking like, we sick of y'all and the way y'all do us people. Then all of a sudden y'all try to find some way to replace y'all sharecropper niggas, good old DNC people. They went for the alternative, like, well, whatever, just how they say it, the LGBTQ people. They went and co-opted them by way of Obama. And then when Biden came in, he tried to go, he went the illegal immigrant route. Well, they're not allowed to vote. Okay. Well, they don't get medical health care in America because they can't go this way. Medicare covers all emergency visits. So if they need to go, if anybody who is undocumented gets sick enough to where they really, really need to go to the doctor, they're able to go to the emergency room by way of the Medicare fund. And that's due to the ACA, whatever they talk about in that thing. But I'm not here once again talking about that. I'm talking about, but then again, I am because we talking about what's beneficial. Here, I think being one of the amongst the least of these beneficial to nigga folks, black American folks. All this other your black leader politicians, that shit is performative. That's not bringing nothing of a constructive, intangible value to your table. But I'm just a nigga on the internet talking, man. I ain't shaking no cup of liquor like Dr. Umar and them. No disrespect, brother. No disrespect, brother. No disrespect, brother. Umar. But I digress, man. Let me turn this one out. I stand before y'all, man. Two palms up, man, to receive all blessings. You know, don't keep your hands balled up, holding in, you know, what little you got. You take a little bit to get a lot. So, sometimes don't just be holding it. Once you use all that you got up, you'll be walking around here pole mouth. But yeah, man, two palms up to receive all blessings. I do thank y'all so much for your time. Peace and love. Nigga Nation or nothing, man. Nigga Nation or nothing, man. Nigga Nation or nothing, man.